Vijay Laxmi. Good evening, sir. How are you?
I'm doing wonderfully. What should I call you, madam? Should I call you Lakshmi? Should I call you Vijay? What do your friends typically call you?
Usually, my friend call me Vijay only.
Okay, great. I would love to be one of your friends, or at least treated the same way. So yeah, it's a remarkable day. How are you doing today, Vijay?
I am doing great, sir. It was very busy day for me. Not only this day, this morning, but usually. Can I introduce myself?
Sure, you can go ahead. Yeah, definitely so.
So, as you know, my name is Vijay Laxmi. By profession, I am a government teacher. I blessed with a kid, and if I talk about my hobbies, so I love to taking care of the plants and gardens. So, in
All
that
right.
sense,
Can you repeat that sentence about your kids? I think I did not catch that.
I blessed with a kid.
Okay, okay. All right. So first of all, blessed is an adjective, right? So the correct sentence should be that I am blessed, right? You can't
I
use a
am.
noun and then an adjective. For example, if I have to say I am poor, no, am has to come between I and poor. I can't say I poor, right? So the same way you can't say I blessed. You have to say that I am blessed with a child. How old is your child, Vijay?
He is almost 12-year-old. 12
Okay,
year old.
great, wonderful. So you've been married at least 13 to 14 years, right? For a
Yes.
long time, more than a decade. Okay.
Yes.
Where do you live, Vijay?
I am from Rajasthan, sir.
Rajasthan. Okay. What part of Rajasthan?
Northern part of Rajasthan, border area of Pakistan, Punjab, and Haryana.
Okay, so Badmer, Jaisalmer, what area?
Sri Ganganagar.
Ganganagar.
Hmm.
Okay, okay. Why I ask is because I've spent a lot of time in Rajasthan actually. I've stayed in Jodhpur for an extended period of time. Throughout my entire college years have been spent in Jodhpur. So I stayed there for like 5 years in total. So I was a little curious about, I love the culture of Rajasthan. The population density is very low. The people are always very kind and very equanimous, very polite at all times, very inclusive also. Like, so I really am enamored by the Rajasthani culture. The music, the food, all of that is
Music,
excellent.
food, lifestyle, simple lifestyle.
Yeah, and the heritage. Most of the forts
Yeah.
of the medieval ages have been preserved, and they are the spectacular monuments there to witness wherever.
Monument. Yes, sir. Rajasthan has a prestigious history, we can say, sir. A glorious
Definitely,
history.
definitely, yeah, for sure. So you also said I love to taking care of plants. Okay, so I'm going to give you an opportunity to try and correct this. Like the same kind of mistake is here in this sentence also. I love to taking care of plants. Can you take another swing at it? Can you like try and rephrase it, or can you pinpoint what is the error? Why am I bringing this to your notice?
I am allowed to.
No, no, I love was fine. Love is I love. Love you are using as a verb. So you don't
Mm.
need am there. Blessed was an adjective. That is why you needed a verb. Here, love is the verb, so that is fine. But after two, we generally don't use the ing form of verb. So I
Yes,
love
yes.
to do something.
Love to.
Say,
I
I love
love
to.
to take care of the plant.
Excellent. Yes. So you said taking care, and that is why the correct is I love to take care of the plants. Okay. All right. So let me introduce myself as well. As you already know, my name is Abhishek Priyadarshi. I have been a communications coach and an English instructor for more than a decade now, and I come from a small town in the state of Bihar. And I in my leisure time I love listening to Hindi classical music, a little bit of Bollywood music as well. I like to tend to dabble in music also, try to learn some things here and there, and interacting with people hailing from diverse cultural and professional backgrounds. That is also a keen interest of mine, which gets satiated, which gets contented here very often, because almost on a regular basis I get to see new faces like yours and hear new stories, fresh perspectives. So that is really invigorating. So
Wonderful.
tell me
I
a little.
watched your video. I watched your video. One of the YouTuber, Promila Vijayaran from Delhi.
Promila, oh, Promila Vijaran
She is a
has.
government teacher. She is
Okay,
also government teacher.
okay.
Nowadays, uh, she is residing, I think, in Haryana.
Promila, I don't recall how long ago I've spoken to Promila. So she has posted a video of mine on YouTube. I was not aware of that.
Yes, yes, sir.
Okay.
She posted. Mm.
Okay, I'll try to find out that video. The thing is, as teachers, as learners, you get a chance to review the videos. These are your intellectual property because you are paying for it. The teachers don't have the same facility. If we want to review our performance in some of our videos, we can't avail that unless the learner decides to share it on some platform like social media platform. Okay.
Yes, true, true, sir.
All right, so it's nice. I think that I made a certain impression on you if you watched my video and decided to get in contact with me. So I feel honored for that.
Definitely.
I hope that I'll be living up to your expectations and being able to provide,
That
the right.
particular video, sir, you used so many vocab and you started video with the idiom bucket list and you described the manner and I totally impressed. The
Okay.
bucket list we are using here and there in a casual way and you described we should not use the bucket list.
Okay.
So
Can you recall what did I say? Because this conversation has happened very long time ago, so I don't
yeah,
recall what I said. Tell me
yes,
what did I say?
In that particular video you described to Promila, we should not use the bucket list for the things in a casual way. According to you, the bucket list means the things we want to finish before our death.
Okay. Hmm.
I
It
think.
has kind of become very prevalent. Bucket list has become a buzzword kind of term, and so a lot of
Mm,
people use it willy-nilly without
mm,
actually referring to the right context. So, okay,
yes.
did I describe why a bucket list is called a bucket list in that video?
So Promila try to make understand, oh, this thing is in my bucket list and I wanted to complete this or that. I
Mhm.
also forget about the things, but the way you describe the bucket list, so that is a permanent impact on on my mind. So
That's wonderful, and that's very sweet of you to say that. I feel again, I feel a little humbled, but I feel a little proud as well that
yes, yes.
this
And
opportunity
in
will
that
happen.
particular video you described the ducks in a row. I think that kind of the idiom also.
Okay, could have been. I think Pramila herself said ducks in a row, getting more
Mm.
ducks in a row. I don't think I said it. I think Pramila said it herself. So, okay, now I'm starting to remember that conversation. So, I'll tell you one more interesting thing about this particular idiom that I don't think I have discussed with Pramila. So, why is a bucket list called a bucket list? Did I discuss that
Yes,
in that
sir.
video?
I think the idiom rooted from
Hmm.
hit the bucket, and I think
Kick the bucket. Kick the bucket.
the bucket, the person who
Ah,
passed away.
exactly. Wonderful. So then I did discuss it in detail. Okay.
Mm.
So I would not waste any of our time, especially yours, on reiterating the same facts which you are already privy to. So tell me about yourself, Vijay. I think we have no in our pleasantries we have spent at least 10 minutes. So I want to make good use of your time here today. So tell me about yourself, your learning goals. Why do you want to elevate your conversational skills? What prompted to you to be here on this platform?
Yes, sir. I want to learn this language, especially for my child, sir. I want to make him fluent. If a mother knows something about, and especially in the terms of language, so we can make easily understand our kids and our family members. And
Mhm.
another thing is, I am a teacher, sir. So it is supposed to know I am good at English.
Mm.
That is actually no, that is not reality because I teach in a government school and in Hindi medium school. But I want to improve and I want to hone my skill.
Mm.
That is why I am here to get fluency and mitigate my mistakes.
That's a very high-minded approach. I'll tell you. I've never. I think among all of the different learners that I have seen throughout my time here on EnglishYaari, I've never had one person say this that I want to learn English for my children, and that is highly commendable, madam. Because
Thank you.
when I was in Rajasthan, when I was in National Law University Jodhpur, so I was good at English. Okay, like but from Bihar, in the land of the blind, the one-eyed man is the king. So
Yeah.
people don't know how to speak good English. So I was a little bit better than average. So I was regarded as one of the experts of the matter. But as soon as I reached a place where the pool of talent was taken from all different and diverse cultures of India, people from Kashmir, people from Kerala, Tamil Nadu, all different parts of the world or the country had accumulated there. Most of these people belong to elite families. They used to belong to
Wow.
very posh families. So again, the kind of difference in my caliber and theirs was very self-evident right from the start. I could see that the way that these people constructed sentences, the natural rhythm and cadence that came so effortlessly to them, that was very much missing. And I took at least 2 years to match that vibe and to be able to develop my competence, to be able to give them a run for their money. So I remember, and the main difference was these people came from households where their parents were speaking English to them. And that
Mm,
creates such a huge divide. Although
yes.
I was blessed to have received English education from one of the best schools that is in this vicinity in my hometown, the best school. So my parents, they did not spare any expense in getting me. But what they were unable to do is speak English themselves. So which is why your motivation is very inspired. And it's very commendable, right? And I really hope that your child will be able to reap the benefits of the efforts that you are.
Definitely.
How many
Definitely. I will.
sessions have you completed so far on the platform, Vijay?
Sir, earlier I enrolled my son oh, on this platform, but no kids are taking in that age takes for the granted. So now this no this subscription I took only for me. If I am good at English, so at home and in morning, evening, any times I can make them understand. I can converse with English. So I enroll. It's my only second session.
Oh, it's your second session only. Okay. So wonderful. Let me welcome you to the platform then. If this is your second session, then you haven't witnessed a lot of tutors here. You haven't been in touch with a lot of them. You're just beginning your journey with us here. So yeah, I feel honored to welcome you. And again, I reiterate that I hope that we'll be able to fulfill all of your learning goals and align our style of education with your style of learning, right? So as
I
we can
know
make
very well, sir, your teaching style. I know very well.
you make me feel famous. Vijay. I
No,
feel like
sir,
a
I feel blessed. I get opportunity to converse with you, and I feel blessed that oh, I got your slot.
you are too kind. My slot is not that difficult to get. Okay, it's very easy. Sometimes you might find a little bit of backlog, but
But the
most of the
problem
time,
is the timing, sir. No, my school time is 7 to 2 p.m. and after that, uh, I need some rest, and household chore. That time problem is the time.
mm, yeah, true. And I also have a day job, so I spend only 3 hours here every day, like 6 to 9 hours.
Mhm.
That's the extent of my dedicated time here. All right, so let me again correct a couple of mistakes that you made. For example, the expression taking something for granted, right? You said that your child took it for, but you added the in between. You said he took it for the granted. So
Mhm.
please don't do that, right?
Mhm.
Idioms, expressions, you have to repeat them verbatim, right? If the expression is kick the bucket, then I can't say kick bucket. I can't remove the. I have to use that the also. So there is very
Mhm.
little wriggle room, and there is very little poetic license for me to
Mhm.
change that expression. We have to use
Yes,
it word by word. Okay, so you have to say that he took it for granted, not for the granted. You also said that if I'm able to converse with English, it will be better for my son. So the thing is, you converse with the person, you converse in the language. So converse with my child in English. Okay, that's so
work with
that's
my
it.
child in English.
So if you're using with, then you must say the name of the person that you are
Okay.
conversing with. Okay, so with implies that. If you're using the language, then the preposition will change from with to in. Okay, so let us start discussing at least the topic. If you have something in mind, if you want to discuss something, if you have a particular agenda, if you feel as if you are lacking in some particular aspect, if you want to ask me a couple of generic questions about how to improve certain aspects, certain facet of language, you can go ahead. I'll redirect my energies into answering your particular questions. Otherwise, we'll take up the session notes and have a brief discussion on that.
No, sir, we should take a session note. You realized, I think, the last 15 minutes, I am making mistake here and there regarding the articles and no prepositions. So these
Mhm.
are my main concerns.
Okay, so at least primarily, I think at this juncture, at this point, you should focus on eliminating, rooting out, or as you mentioned, mitigating most of your grammatical errors, right? And getting into the flow of speaking. I'm sure that the kind of environment that you are from, uh, do you speak English at home by any chance?
No, no, sir. I try to converse with my child.
Mm.
And we
But
can.
he does not
Otherwise,
reciprocate.
I haven't any environment, and I try to converse with my some friends.
Okay.
I have a WhatsApp group, so I try to connect with them.
Okay, but that must happen like very occasionally, right? You can't do that on a regular basis.
I try to on the regular basis, but sometimes I fail.
So this conversation, does it happen in the form of chats, or does it happen like face to face conversation like we're having happening?
Sometimes audio call, sometimes on the video call mode.
Okay, okay. So again, that's very highly commendable. It's very praiseworthy that you are exploiting all avenues, despite the impediments that you find in your way, right? And again, in your workplace also, you don't have that opportunity. You have to speak the Hindi language. If you start speaking
Yes, yes.
English,
Workplace, Hindi language, and the Rajasthani language. You spent 5 years, I think, there. So we
yes,
have
yes.
our own language,
Mm.
Rajasthani language. Most of time we use our
I
Rajasthani
but
Marwadi language.
I was in a very gated community. The college that I lived in was kind of very separate from like the local indigenous culture of Jodhpur. So I learned only two expressions. I learned Khamma Gani and I learned Baisa. Those are the two expressions that I learned, and I became a fan of dal bati churma. That
Okay,
is
you never heard about, sir. How are you? How can we say in Rajasthani language?
how can you okay. I don't recall. I must have heard it a couple of times, but because very few people actually spoke Marwadi inside the campus, so there was one
Yes.
person from Badmer. There was this one person from Badmer who used to greet everyone with, and especially my lady friend who used to be with me a lot of times. So he always used to look to her and say, she was also Rajasthani, she was from Jodhpur. So he used to say, Kamagani Baisa at all times, whenever he used to see me. So that kind of resonated with me, that lingered in my memory for a long time. Okay, but you can jog my memory. You can tell me, how do you ask, how do you do in Marwadi?
In my district, sir, we say "Kiya ho," no, "Kiya chal rahi hai kaam." So like that we use
It's a very
like
tricky to
that.
actually pronounce it like that.
Yes, little bit Jodhpur language they have some sweetness in their tone, and my district is attached with Haryana border, so we have a little bit different kind of the accent at the way of
Ah,
speaking.
now that you mention it, I can see some telltale signs of that in your, the style in which you speak English. There is a little
Yes.
bit of Haryanvi influence.
Mm.
If I had
In
a,
Hindi, in
uh,
Hindi we can say khadi bolli. No, we
ah,
have.
correct, correct, exactly. Yeah. So you have that sort of cadence. You have that sort of patua.
And that is the problematic for me. English is have a different kind of the etiquette. We can say, sir, some soften the way of
Mm,
speaking. And in
yeah.
Haryana language, we have some strictness. We can say.
Yeah, very, very well put. I think, yeah, that's absolutely correct. It's very much on point. A lot of harsh, strident
Mm,
sounds are
yes,
often used in the Haryanvi language, and in English, most of the these harsh, strident sounds are kind of polished over. there's a lot of refinement attached to it, and you pronounce them in a much more mellifluous way, in a much more
Mm,
melodious way, right?
yes.
You
Mm.
were saying something?
People can easily recognize, sir, we are the from that particular district and that particular area, the way of speaking.
True. Yeah, it is a kind of a giveaway. It's a
Mm.
telltale sign. All right, so we have very little time left. Let us utilize that in discussing our topic for the day. You can access the session notes. I'm sure that you know how to. You can pull up the
Yeah.
PDF on your
The
screen.
second note, I think about a curious person.
Curious cat, right? Your curiosities. Actually, there is a very good expression, very famous expression in the English language, an idiom called "curiosity killed the cat." So there are two things. Have you ever heard this expression? First of all.
Yes, sir, I have heard the curiosity kill the cat means if we are poking our nose each and everything, so sometimes it would be problematic for us.
Ah, very
It
good.
create
Yeah,
problem.
you are poking your nose into other people's affairs. If you
Mm.
are making unwarranted transgressions into other people's affairs, it might backfire on us a lot of times. You know, we should keep to ourselves. Curiosity, I think, is a great quality to have. But any sort of quality, any sort of virtue, if it is unremitted, if it is uncontrolled, right, if it goes out of its own bounds, then it can be definitely detrimental to our overall well-being. Even water, water is considered the source of life. No life can exist without water. But if we keep drinking water, an excessive amount can make us sick and can actually hospitalize us also. So in the same way, and curiosity is actually a trait which is a personality trait which is very much associated with cats. Cats are kind of instinctually and inherently and naturally curious about their environments, and they want to explore and navigate their environment. Whenever they encounter something new, they can't seem to take their mind off of it, and they have to go and poke it and try to understand, what runs it, or what other
Mm.
characteristics it has. So I think that is where this expression comes from. So great that
Mm.
you heard it. What are you curious about? I'll stick with the most basic questions. What do you think you are curious about in your life?
At that this point of the age, sir, I think curiosity is, I think the days are gone when I was a curious person. But I want to explore this language, and not only this language. Earlier, the time was I totally fancied about the Urdu and Punjabi. I did give try it for to learn, and some extent I learned Punjabi, sir. I can read and a little bit I can write. I'm not able to speak, but I can make to. I know very well make to do Punjabi, and I also gave my hand to learn Urdu. So I always curious about to learn new languages.
Hmm.
And
You said I'm curious about to learn new languages, right? So I just
to
want to correct the sentence framing there. I'm curious about learning new languages.
curious
That
about
would
to
be
learn.
the exactly
Mm.
appropriate, grammatically appropriate way of saying that, right? Don't say I'm curious about to learn, right? Curious about learning instead of to learn, right?
Mm.
You were saying something else.
And in additional, sir, I would say I am curious about cosmos and universe and planet. No, each and every day new theories came to light. And one day, I was talking to my son, and he told me, "Mama, the sun is also rotating around the
Oh, that's it.
galaxy." Oh, I don't know about. No, I just simply say answer. We will search and we will Google it after that. So each and every day, new invention, new discovery came,
Hmm.
and we also curious still, sir. We reached moon and Mars, but still a lot of things we are curious, and one of them, I am also one of them.
Okay, wonderful. So, first of all, you are correct that as we progress in our age, our natural curiosity seems to diminish. When we are children, we are everything is new for us. Our minds are like blank slates, tabula
Mm.
rasa, and because of that, can you hear me, Vijay?
Yes, yes, yes. You are
Yeah.
audible, sir.
Your video got frozen for a little while. So yeah, but that natural curiosity kind of diminishes, kind of deteriorates as the time moves on, and we become more and